Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Horror Huddle. I'm Stacy Beth. We have Ash here as always.
Hello there.
Merry Christmas, you guys. We're filming this, of course, like a week before, but
Or Happy Festivus.
yes, for the rest of us, or whatever you celebrate. I don't give a shit, honestly. But yeah, so of course you can see Ash is being super festive with his hat and his hot chocolate. Yes. Yeah, we're filming this like a week before, but I'm sure it'll probably be put up Christmas Eve or something like that, so it all works out. Anyways, tonight we're doing Krampus from 2015, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Released December
we
4th.
wanted to do last year, but we just didn't have time to do it.
Yeah. And I know, like, we're definitely not the only ones who have covered this movie, of course, but we kind of didn't want to cover the ones that have already really been done before, like, you know, Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, all that stuff. So
Yeah.
we wanted to stick with Krampus. Directed by Michael Dougherty, who did Trick or Treat.
Which you can tell.
Yeah. Oh, you can tell for sure. And I think there were like a little bit, I think there was like some homages in there.
Probably.
Well, no, because I think they said that, like in the beginning when Max was going through his Halloween stash of candy, there was a lollipop in there. That was the Sam one.
Yeah,
or
okay.
whatever, which was super cool. Okay, so this one's like a Christmas horror comedy.
Yeah, that's the best way I can put it. Though the comedy is very inspired by movies like The Ref, Christmas Vacation.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if you watch the movie alongside Christmas Vacation, you'll notice, like, yeah, they paid homage to that movie quite a bit.
Yeah. And we talked about this right before we started filming, saying, you know, Ash brought it up, that he was like, dude, this is like fucking Christmas Vacation, because you have like the kooky uncle and aunt and stuff. And
Yeah, that's like a white trash. And I was
Yeah.
like, dude, it's Cousin Eddie.
I know. I was like, oh, I didn't even see that. I don't know why. I didn't put two and two together. But, so it stars Adam Scott, who we know from Parks and Rec, Toni Collette. The kid who plays Max is MJ Anthony. I don't know if I've seen him in anything before.
I probably have. I just
Yeah. David Koechner plays the crazy uncle, who we all know from like Anchorman, and
Yeah.
you know, he played Champ. And then I didn't put any of their names down because and then I put Conchata Ferrell, who played Aunt Dorothy, who's
my favorite character.
Yeah. And everybody will probably remember her because she was the housekeeper in what is 2.5 Men.
Mm.
Yeah. So pretty much the young kid Max, he accidentally summons Krampus when he loses his holiday spirit, while his like fucked up dysfunctional family are all together for the holidays. And that's kind of like your basic plot, you know.
I love the opening of the movie. Like the intro credits, it just sets the movie up perfectly because it's literally Black Friday at its worst. It's like, you know, and it's like the most ridiculous shit. Sadly, it's stuff that actually happens in real life. So that's the funniest part is it's not that far off of reality. Like, you know, there's fights, people getting tased. Hilarious.
And it's like the movie starts off pretty like tame right after that opening sequence or whatever. You know, it's the family all getting ready for, you know, just Christmas dinner and all that stuff. And, you know, they have family coming over, and you could tell that they're not happy about it because this is kind of like a fucked up side of the family, but they kind of, you know, have to accept it because it's, you know, Toni Collette's sister and all this stuff. And it's kind of like everybody relates to that in some aspect of having that, or having to go to that family member's house, or having that family member come over, and everything just being like chaos, even though you're trying to like keep it cool, you know. But then, you know, you've got the kids who are all still like really excited about Christmas, and like it kind of makes.
And then you dawn on, it's like it's okay, it'll be only over in 3 days.
Yeah, and I'm like, what? I don't know. When we do the family stuff, like we're there day of. Like, we are not there for fucking 3, 4, 5 days. You know, it's just a little too much. But, and of course, Max played that character who, he was like the only one in the family who still loved Christmas and still wrote a letter to Santa every year because his grandma lives with them, Omi. And And I loved her. She was great.
I thought she did very well.
And it made sense that it was a Krampus thing because I guess they had some Austrian background or whatever, you know, because
Hungarian,
German, whatever the hell, which of course, Krampus folklore. So it was kind of cool. There was, you know, I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. This movie didn't fuck around, dude. Like there was like all kinds of fucked up, creepy shit in there, like. The different.
It did, but it was. I actually thought like the way they kind of structured it is like you had like before the family gets there, you know, had the normal family just trying to kind of prepare themselves. Then all the hilarity starts ensuing when you get the family there and it's all crazy stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. There is that one touching moment though when they read Max's letter to Santa. And it's like, oh, I just wish my mom and dad would stop fighting, and please help my aunt and uncle, because they're having money troubles. And there's that like little moment where you see all the family going, oh. Yeah. I was like, so it does even for a horror comedy, it does hit those like tender moments.
No, this movie's like, it's cute and it's nice and it's wonderful, and then it's really dark, like it's fucked up too, And I think Michael Dougherty, he called it both scary and sentimental.
Yeah.
That's perfect, of course, because it's like that's exactly.
And that goes through the cinematography and lighting.
Yeah.
Like, does the house look so beautiful when everything's going right?
Yeah.
But as stuff starts going bad, it's just. Even when it looks horrible, like scary, it's so well shot. It just looks kind of beautiful. It's like a Norman Rockwell Kincaid, but just darkness.
It's like warm and inviting, and then shit happens, and it's not anymore, and you don't want to be there, and you don't want to hang out with that family, But yeah, they had what I loved is they had a bunch of like crazy, like all the crazy ass. Different monsters, and because it wasn't just Krampus, you know what I mean? Like,
they had tons of I love that this movie, and I think you'll agree with me. Their use of special effects when needed, like CG with the gingerbread man.
Yeah,
but they blew it out of the park with their practical effects. Like, many of the monsters are real physical things that they built.
Oh my gosh, the fucking Jack in the Box, the giant like warm like Jack in the Box.
Yeah, the mouth that opens up.
That fucked me up. Like that's still, and I've watched this movie, I'm telling you, like 4 or 5 times already.
But let me just say that scene where they see it swallowing the girl, the taking of Deborah Logan.
Yeah, right. No kidding. If you guys haven't seen it, you have to go watch it now. Yeah, no, I mean, that's what we were probably going to talk about that, but that is probably my favorite monster out of all of them, like it's fucking scary. And then the fact that it was like crawling through the walls, I was like, no, I would have fucking just burned the house down and ran outside. Like, that's it. But they had Krampus, they had the killer gingerbread man, which was cool because it was, like you said, that was the CG part of it, and you expect it to be really stupid.
That I felt it did feel stupid. It was like basically where I think they took that scene was the Ash versus mini Ashes off of Army of Darkness. Yeah. It had that same kind of tongue in cheek.
It was stupid, but it was like, I don't know, it didn't take me out of the movie. It didn't make me be like, oh god, you guys just ruined it with the fucking gingerbread men, seriously, that are like chasing you around with shanks that are made out of
a nail gun.
Yeah. It's like, but it didn't take me out of it. It wasn't that stupid, It was like, oh, that's in the midst of all the chaos, there's this, and it's still, I mean, they're trying to murder you.
I think the gingerbread men were pretty much the only CG creatures, because they had the little robot thing that I think that was practical. Mm-hmm. You had the teddy bear, practical.
Yeah.
You had, the angel.
Mm-hmm. The weird little cherub or whatever,
Yeah, cherub, that was practical also.
That was weird. I didn't like it. It looks like some shit you would buy at Hot Topic. Like one of those, like, monster dolls or some stupid shit like that. And then the elves were creepy as fuck. Like, the ones that came running in the house and stuff. Like, they were fucking scary. And then Krampus himself was fucked up. Like, I liked the costume design and
I like the collegiate shit face. The only downside of the Krampus thing was the face seemed too static.
Well, because it was a mask. It was a mask. That was the whole point. Is
was it supposed to be a mask or was it supposed to be his face?
No. It's supposed to be a mask. You can read it up. Okay. Like on the way they did the costume design, they put a mask on him because they wanted to leave the viewers kind of like to make up in your own imagination what you think he looks like.
Okay, you see, again, I'm a little bit sick, so when I watched it, I was kind of out of it.
Yeah.
So is that his face? If so,
yeah, they said that the only thing you can see are his eyes and his mouth, like his real
tongue.
Yeah, yeah. That's a mask and stuff, and that the final design was taken from postcards and illustrations over the years. That they finally kind of honed the design and came up with that.
Well, and on top of like the visual style, it's the way it was shot actually adds to that creature effect.
Yeah,
because like the reveal for Krampus, where he's coming out of the chimney, and very slow, like the hands coming out. You don't even see the head, and you see the antlers. You know, just all of that plus the makeup just made, especially that shot, was one of my favorites out of the whole movie.
And of course that's the scene that you want the most. You want to see the scene between the grandma and Krampus, because earlier in the film, when the grandma kind of reveals to everybody that she knew what was going on, is when we get that animated scene,
which was amazing. I didn't expect it.
Yeah, I didn't expect it at all. And so then, and you get this animated scene of her telling them the story of what happened to her parents, because Krampus took them away and he left her so that she could, like, I don't know what she said it was, but like, remember what loss is or whatever, or something like that, you know, and you get
this stuff. Just say, okay, grandmother was a dick for basically calling Krampus to destroy her family. Dick move. Max, same fucking thing. He's the one that caused all this shit.
I mean, they didn't know that fucking Krampus was going to come and get him, so it's not like an intentional dick move. It's a very accidental dick move. But yeah, no, it had this clean look to it the whole time. You know, I don't know. It looked fucking awesome. I liked the soundtrack a lot. Like, I went back and listened to it today, and it's really cool. It's like, it's super, like, it's almost, in some tracks, it's kind of kid-like, but then it's super ominous, too, because you got the tracks that have, like, the bells and the chains and the chanting and all that stuff, and then you have these other ones that kind of sound like Christmas, like they'd be in a Christmas movie, but they've got that dark undertone to it, you know?
The only thing that was missing? Bing Crosby.
Yeah. What was the song at the end?
Oh, I can't remember.
I don't either. I don't remember.
But I love that. I love that little point where they're in the Hummer, which gets destroyed, but it's okay. It's an H2. Those things suck anyway. But like before it's destroyed, it's like, oh, the radio's on. He's like, you know, we could really use some Bing Crosby right now. Like,
yeah. Right. It's those little touches of like some humor that kind of make it good. Yeah. And so I read that, you know, with the controversy with like the other, like with darker Christmas movies like Black Christmas and stuff like that, that Universal only agreed to greenlight it whenever Legendary Productions gave it PG-13, or like agreed to put it to PG-13. That was only then did they decide, okay, fine, we're going to greenlight this movie and shit. Like, which, I mean, for being PG-13, though, it's still like a fucked up ass movie. Like, I still don't know if I'd let my 5-year-old sister watch it, or like my 10-year-old brother, or like, you know.
I agree. I think that they were on the hard side of PG-13.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, with a little bit more gore, a little bit more profanity, yeah, it would have gotten that R.
Yeah.
In that aspect, it's a lot like Gremlins.
Yeah.
Because Gremlins was one of those movies that actually introduced PG-13, because originally that was just PG movies.
Yeah.
Like, I guess it's a PG movie, and they're like, no, we have to make a new rating system.
Yeah, and I mean, and it makes sense, because I can see this movie probably scaring the fuck out of some tweens, you know? Yeah, some tweens. I can see them getting a little spooked out by it, you know?
Yeah, and there was, even as an adult, like Krampus, like when it shows his face close up, that is pretty kind of creepy looking.
Yeah, and then you get that fucked up tongue, and like it's just weird. It's like, you know, like we were talking about earlier, the freaking Jack in the Box with like that giant mouth with a bunch of teeth, and it's just fucking like I don't know if my siblings would be like chill with it right now. You know, they'd probably be scared. Okay, so let's talk about that ending. the ambiguous ending, you know, that everybody's got. There's two fan theories that they think. And the one is that they're in hell, doomed to like repeat that day over and over again. You know, because you saw that they do have, remember like something when they see the Krampus spell, they're like, oh shit, and it's dark and whatever. And then the other one is that they made it out, or, you know, with Max at the end kind of, you know, apologizing and all this stuff, that they're not stuck in there, but that Krampus is like watching them. Like he gave them a second chance.
Yeah, I think.
What do you think?
I think that second theory is only from people who really want the happy ending.
Yeah,
because I look at it like, no, they're in their own version of hell.
That's what I think too. I think like Krampus didn't give a fuck, and all those other snow globes you see, all like once you fuck up, you fuck up. There ain't no turning back now. Like,
well, and they even had that with the grandmother scene where, you know, the grandmother does her story in English, which, you know, that's when the aunt's like, I fucking knew it.
Yeah.
And then she goes back to talking Hungarian, like, you know, do you think we're all going to die? And the aunt's like, nah, she says we're all fucked. And she's like, how do you know? You don't, you know, the kids are like, how do you know? You don't speak whatever. And she's like, no, I can tell when life's about to bend me over or whatever. It was like when life's come at me with his pants down.
Yes, that.
And then the grandmother just like, she's like,
yep. Like, yeah, you're fucked.
So even the grandmother's like, yeah, once he's been summoned, there's no taking it back.
Yeah. You're kind of
they're in hell. And the worst part about it, for the way it makes it hell, is they have to relive it and have that nice little moment where, like, oh, everything's great. They see the bell and they're like, fuck, we're trapped in eternity with this family that we fucking hate.
Yeah, and you know, it probably wouldn't, I mean, it would have ended that way for everybody else, because like with the grandma, you know, she said, you know, Krampus leaves one to let everybody know that this is lost, whatever. Well, and Max was going to be the one to stay behind, remember? They took everybody, but then Max was like, no, I'm going to go get my family back. It's like, oh, you know. And that's what I loved about the movie, though, is that it was fucked up. It was grim. It was fucking dark. Like, nobody fucking made it out. Like
not even the DHS driver.
Not even the baby. Not even what happened to the dog? Remember the cute dog? Do we ever know what happened to the doggy?
I didn't see it.
That's what I need to know. Like, I need to know somebody comment and tell us what happened to this dog. Because as long as the dog lives, then I don't care what happens to everybody else. Not even the baby. Okay. Before we end this all, favorite scenes. Favorite scene, favorite whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've talked about them already, but...
Krampus' reveal.
Yeah. Mine was definitely the attic scene with the big fight scene with everybody and the cherub and the teddy bear and the Jack in the Box and stuff. That was one of my favorites. And I did like the scene with when the gingerbread man lured the fat kid into the fireplace. Like, that was a fucked up scene. Like, that was
fucked up. The fat kid was stupid. It's like, I don't care how fat you are. I'm a fat bastard. If I see something very scrumptious at the end of a very ominous chain coming through my chimney, I'm going to probably second guess going to try to eat it.
Yeah. And didn't he take a bite out of it too, though? Like,
yeah, he actually grabbed it.
But it's just like, that scene is like, it was funny, but it was also fucked up. But like, that's all I can really say. This movie's kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I talk to a lot of people like that don't like this movie. You know, like, and I fucking love it. Like, I
think it depends on what you go into the movie expecting.
Yeah.
If you go expecting Black Christmas kind of horror film,
you ain't getting that shit.
You ain't getting that.
No.
If you go in for something like, well, even Gremlins, I thought had a more serious tone to it.
Yeah.
Which says something. So if you're looking for something like Army of Darkness level humor.
Yeah. It's like Christmas Vacation / Army of Darkness / some Gremlins. You know, like a little bit of all that mixed together.
If you're going in for a goofy black comedy.
Yeah.
Then you'll love it.
With more emphasis on the black part of it. Because it's a lot more dark than it is funny.
Not necessarily dark. It's just very just kind of pessimistic. It's like,
I get what
like,
you're saying.
it basically paints all family experiences as horrible.
But yeah, it's just very hopeless. It's very
and again, it goes back to the opening credits.
Yeah.
Did it show anything in the opening credits at that like store scene where it was like, people actually, being nice to each other? No, everyone fucking was a dick to everyone else.
Yeah. So does that mean, did Krampus come and get any of them, or did he just come and get the family? Because he killed the freaking driver guy.
I'm thinking that just like the tale that the grandmother shows, it seemed like he hit the whole fucking city. Or the whole village. So I'm thinking that opening was their way of saying everyone in this town is like, have horrible moral values as far as like Christmas and the giving spirit. So everyone's like mean and horrible people. So the whole town's going to get it.
Yeah. I just noticed your Krampus stocking in the back.
Yes.
That's awesome. Love it. That's what I was kind of wondering just now too, is I was like, did he come and get everybody, or was it just, family? Because remember how
because they go into the neighbor's house and they show the chimney that's also broken.
Yeah, but remember, didn't she say that all the neighbors were gone?
I know that they said that some of the neighbors were gone, but when they went into that one house, though, it showed that someone was in the house whenever these things happened, because it showed one of those gingerbread men stuck to the fridge with a knife.
Gotcha.
That's when Howard's like, dude, there's some fucked up people in this neighborhood. This is messed up.
Yeah.
So yeah, in that house at the very least, Krampus, there were people there, and Krampus did take it.
Gotcha. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Damn. This is a good movie. I like it. Whatever. It's going to become like a yearly tradition for me amongst all my, it's like just another one I have to add to the list,
Yeah, and it's just like, what he did with the Trick or Treat.
Mm-hmm.
Trick or Treat is now like, yes, you have to watch that during Halloween.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, he just did the same thing. So I'm now waiting for one for President's Day from him.
Mm-hmm.
St. Patrick's Day. Maybe Cinco de Mayo.
Maybe some Earth Day. Maybe, something ridiculous.
If he does Martin Luther King, might be a little bit over the edge.
I don't know. We'll go there.
People might be triggered.
Triggered. Yeah. So, anyways, you guys, like we said, this is going up probably Christmas Eve or whatever. I mean, you'll see it on Christmas Eve, then whatever.
Or after.
I don't know. I don't think we're not doing anything for New Year's. I'm pretty sure we're not.
No, it's a really limited list of New Year's.
New Year's Evil.
Yeah, which everyone's done. That's kind of like a no-brainer.
I know. Well, no, and we're not going to do it because I'm going to be out of town anyways, so I won't be able to do that. But, yeah, you guys, that's going to be it for Krampus. All right, you guys, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Take care.